I wouldn't know where to start. Where would you start, you know? It goes back a long, long ways. Started February 2010. Saw it, wasn't sure, stayed on it. When I hit about the 20th encounter, I thought, God, this really cannot keep continuing. One misconception within most people's minds is that if you hypothetically say, see, you have 10 UFO encounters, something's wrong. Because most people have this belief that seeing one once is like some miraculous type thing. So about the 20th, I just kept thinking, I cannot believe 20, let alone that this is going to continue. You know, I knew from early on that basically, you know, there's a reason for everything. So after the 20th, it's really, how to be able to put it is difficult, due to the fact that there are some things that just are not, you know, I don't want it out. I mean, I'll be straight up and honest. There's actually a lot of it that I do not want out. It is so complicated, and there's so much detail to these 2010, 2011, 2012 encounters that I could just write books. I mean, I could write books. So about the 20th, I started working on calling it. Well, just, you know, I guess I could say I summoned the UFO, but in my eyes, I called it. There have been 8 people separately during 8 of the encounters of the 214 that have been filmed / recorded. Of the 217 that I've actually seen. So 3 of those I was not able to get on film. So there have been 8 people that have been present during these encounters. All of those people, separate times, separate people, all of them with the exception of one, I would hide them. I would not allow them to be. I would not allow them to be in the area before the contact started or before the object had appeared. There was only one person that was actually able to see the whole process from the start to the end. So from the 20th on, I worked on calling. From, say, encounter 100 within 20 minutes. Number 214, the clouds, a lot of clouds, rain that day. I get the camera ready, I do my thing, and I start looking. Next thing I know, I look directly behind me, and it's sitting up there. Get it off the corner with the power line to the building. The clouds come in, it gets in the clouds. About 15-20 minutes later, the clouds broke in that area. There was a was gone. About a month and a half ago, I had did an eye exam for corrective lenses. I go in, the first part of the initial exam, the person sits me down, looks at left eye, looks at the right eye. The person says to me, Mr. Kelly, do you know you have in your left eye? And I'm like, the exam prior to this one, if it was something I was born with, it would have been mentioned a long time ago. This person says to me, I wish I could photograph this so I could show it to you. About a month later, I'm with somebody in an optician's office, and this person's a specialist, best in the person's field. And I had the chance to ask the person, I explained to him about the exam. The person that gave the exam, that discovered what they did, had said to me, when they said, do you know you have in your eye, the person said, I'd never seen nothing like that. I'd never seen nothing like that. It is unbelievable. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you have no clue. You just have no clue. So I'm in the optical specialist's office about a month later, and I had asked this person, I explained to him what I was told. And the person says, well, could be. And I said, well, it's only in the left eye. And it really had become quiet. And the person took very much of an interest and said, I would really like to look at it. And I just let it go at that. I did not allow the person to look at it. I just explained what I was told from the previous exam, and the person took an interest. When I would be out, would be shooting possible conclusions as to what the exam provided as for my eyes, I would be like this. So, you've got a camcorder, whatever, you're like this. You've got a viewfinder here. So, pretty much. Yeah. So, the calling. It's something that I really don't talk about. I actually don't even talk about these encounters with many people. If it gets exploited, they'll bash it. The sphere, this thing that's underneath this structured object. There's so much evidence on the films that show that it is a light bar or a light band between the object and the sphere. The purpose of the sphere. Encounter number 40, say 40 through 50, the early ones. I had on 3 different filmed occasions through separate events, in which, when I had it right up above me, the sphere, this is why it is known that it's light. So when the sphere would be orbiting or satelliting around the object as if the object's in motion, on these 3 separate events, I pulled off frames from the film that when the sphere came around, and this is what is known, to be true. What had happened was the point of the light band of the sphere, and it's really hard to explain, hit the camera at the right angle to where I was seeing frames. The frames were blotched. And the best way, I guess, to describe it is I tried to pull pictures, but they wouldn't pull on the pictures. But in the actual frame by frame, you could see where the sphere came around, and I was in direct line. I was at a perfect alignment with the light band, and the sphere. And what it did to the picture was this was amazing, and this is why it was really known from early on about a lot of what this consists of, is that what it did was it basically on that frame it would be in a circle, and it would be all blotched and distorted. So I guess the best way to describe it is it is so strange, is that you have a normal picture, you've got this object sitting here, and then you're doing frame by frame, and the sphere comes around and they get perfect in line, and then all of a sudden on that one frame it's all blown out, it's all distorted. The grains or the pixels are affected, it shows interference. That's the best way to put it. I had tried to pull many of them. Like I said, there were 3 events that I was hitting it dead in alignment, and I would, because I'd be looking up and I'd be going, what in the world? Well, realized later that it's some kind of light that had affected the CCD sensors when I got in perfect alignment with it. Why are they here? Let's call them they. I always refer to them, to the intelligence within this object, as they. Why are they here? A lot of speculation, a lot of possibilities. I don't really sit and ponder why are they here. I'm more concerned and interested with seeing them. The past, most recent encounters, I don't know, maybe say the last 10, the duration of the time that the craft has been staying in the area is averaging about 25 minutes. The longest one, 110 minutes, hour and 50 minutes, and it's averaging 25 minutes. If there's no interference, in the sense of planes ambushing the area or blocking the airspace, it'll sit a long time. 2:13, I think it lasted almost 40 plus minutes that it was still visible. A lot of times I can see it with my eyes, and I have a hard time getting the camera to see it. The eyes are useless when the mind is blind. Minds, so to speak, out there roaming around are in the dark.